guys, it's Amanda here from Faithfully Homemade. Today I'm going to show you my winter Christmas time math and literacy activity centers. These activity centers are great for kindergarten and first grade, even preschool students that are kind of high-flying preschoolers. So these activities that I have here for you, you can find them all on my website. So I will leave a link below to everything that you see as we go through them. And some of them are math and some of them are literacy. The first one I have out for you today is called Reindeer Fractions. Now, if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I keep all of my activities in these plastic bags with the label on them. And when you download my activities, you'll get a label for each of the activities that you can print out. And then also, I've been starting to keep my activity centers in these plastic bins that I got. And I'm going to do a separate video on how I've been storing them in these bins. But I recently got those as well. So just an idea for how to store them and organize them. But let me get started with the first activity. So the first one is working with basic fractions, and it's these fraction strips as you see here. And what the kids are going to do is they're going to take one strip. They're going to look at the fraction on this strip next to the reindeer. It's Christmas themed. And it says 1/4. And so they're going to look at the pictures and they're going to find the fraction that shows 1/4. When they find it, they need to cover it up with some type of manipulative, whatever you have at home. Now, some options, since we're doing Christmas activity centers, is to get these little foam stickers. Don't use them as stickers, but just use them as little manipulatives. And so the kids can take one of these and they can cover up their answer just like that. And then you can move on to the next strip. You could also use clips, and they could clip their answer with like a clothespin clip. Or like I said, you can use these. I also, another option is, these are erasers. Some of them are kind of used because my kiddos were using them. But you could get Christmas themed erasers. Or I even have these little Christmas themed, these are like, I think they're supposed to be like little pieces of jewelry. They're plastic though. And I got them off of Oriental Trading and I thought they were really cute, and so they would be cute little manipulatives to use as well. I've also seen people use little table scatter, if you've ever, holiday table scatter, just whatever you have at home. And it doesn't even have to be Christmas themed, but if you have that, great. So anyway, that's what this activity center is. So then they would take the next one, they would look for 3/8. And when they find it, they're going to cover it up with whatever you have available, and then they're going to keep on going. So there's just a handful of different fractions here for them to do. All right, so let me show you the next activity center. Okay, the next activity center is called Domino Long Vowel Cover. So this one is practicing phonics skill of long vowels. The first vowel says its name, the second vowel is silent. And so this one has two options. So here's the first mat, looks like this, or you can have the second mat, which is a nativity themed from the Bible. So you can have either one you want, or you could even do them both because they're different words on each one. And then what the kids are going to do is they're going to actually use this one with dominoes. So I have this bucket of dominoes here that are really colorful. You don't have to have the colorful ones. But what the kids are going to do is they're just going to pick a domino, and they're going to count the dots. So on this domino, I have 5 dots. So that means I have to read the word that's on number 5. So my word here is blue. Okay, so the children are going to read the long vowel word, and they're going to then place their domino on that spot. And they're going to keep going until they have covered up their entire mat. So here I've pulled out another domino. This has 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to read glue, and I'm going to cover it up. If they pull a domino out that they've already done, you can have them read the word again and then just cover that spot up again, or you could just have them put that domino back and choose another domino. So either way, this one has 10, so I would read fruit and then cover it up, and they're going to continue until they've covered up the entire mat. And then they can flip it over, of course, and do the other side as well because it's different words. And then you can talk about how some of the words have long A, some of them have long E. You could even use a dry erase marker to mark the vowels long, and how the first one is silent, we draw a line over it, and the second one we cross out because or the first one says its name, we draw a line over it, and the second one we cross out because it is silent. So you could just talk about the different patterns, how there's long I in hive, long O in rose, with magic E at the end that tells the first vowel to say its name, long E in sea, long A in play. So just all those fun different phonics rules that you can talk about when you're talking about long vowels. So let me show you the next activity center. Okay, the next activity center is called Missing Number Wreaths, and it has these strips that you see here. What you need is a dry erase marker, and then it has these cards. So it has, each of the wreaths have the amount that you see here. These are numbers, they're kind of like dotted, so the kids are going to trace it. So this has 5 on it, so we're going to, 5 little balls on the wreath. So we're going to trace the 5. Then it's missing a number, and then this one has 7, so we'll trace the 7, and then we'll trace the 8, because this one has 8, and then, put my cap on there, and then we have to figure out what number is missing. So 5, what comes between 5 and 7? The children are going to write 6, and then they have to find the wreath out of these cards that has 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there it is, 6 on it, and then they place it on their card. Then that one is done, and they can go on to the next one. So we have all the way up through the number 12 on these. So it's just there's one number missing on each one. I printed mine, some on the front and some on the back, just to kind of save paper. You definitely want to laminate these so that they can use dry erase and redo it over and over again. I also made them in black and white, so if you have trouble with your printer printing color, you can print them in black and white as well, however you want to do it. And so yeah, so this is what this one is. Just, you know, they're missing, some of them don't have it on the back, but they're missing a number, and then they trace their numbers, and then they have to write the number that is missing. And then obviously they find the card that would go in the missing spot. Okay, this next activity center is called Nativity Short Vowel Roll and Cover. So this one is working on short vowel words. And what you need is there are 2 different mats. There's this one that you see here, and then there's also this one. So there's 2 options of your mat. And then there's a card like this. You need, all you need is 1 die. And what the kids are gonna do is they're gonna roll the die, and here I got a 1, and so I'm going to look on my card, and I'm going to look at the word family that's on number 1. It says ag. So then I have to find a word on my mat that follows that word family. So here, bag is part of the ag word family, so I'm going to cover it up. Again, you can use any kind of manipulative you have, but this time, since this is a nativity scene activity, I'm going to use these nativity scene. These are foam stickers, just like the other ones that I showed you, and these ones are actually the Bible story ones. So I'm going to use these, and then the kiddos would just take one and cover up the word. Then they would roll again. This time I got a 5, so I have the un word family, so I have to look for a word with un, and I see sun, so I would go ahead and cover up sun with one of my stickers. Obviously, you can use any kind of manipulative you have. The kids are going to keep on rolling until they have covered up every single word on their mat. They can do that one. The other option is on the back. This one doesn't have the words, it has a picture. So when they roll, I'm going to roll. All right, I got a 6. I have to look for Ann. So I look at the pictures and I find one of the pictures that ends with Ann. Fan ends with Ann, so then I would take one of my stickers and cover that one up. So this is just another option. This side uses pictures instead of the words. So there I rolled a 5. I would look for un. There I see sun, so I would go ahead and cover up sun. And they would continue on until they've covered up all the pictures on their mat. Okay, this next activity center I think is a lot of fun. This one is called Carol Build It, and it's kids that are Christmas caroling. And you're going to get 2 sets of cards with this. So you're going to get cards that look like this, and you're going to get cards with numbers on them with the hymnal books or the caroling books. Okay, and so then and then you're going to get the mat that looks like this. So what the kids have to do is they have to build the number. So they're going to take one of these cards and they're going to count. This has 1, 2, 3, 4. He's holding 4 ornaments. And then they're going to have to build 4 on their mat. So you can obviously use any manipulative you have. If I used these ones here, I would just build 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I put my card down. Then I'd have to find the number 4 in my stack here as well to match up. So they're not only doing one-to-one correspondence by counting and putting it out, they also have to find the actual number. There's the number 4. And then they would be done with that one. So then you could clear off their mat. And they could pick another card. This goes all the way up to 20. It's 2 10 frames put together. So this is counting up through 20. So then they could pick another card. Say they picked this one. They're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So he has 11 there. So then they're going to build 11. They might use erasers. 1, 2. You get the idea. Some of these erasers got used by my kiddos. So I'm going to build 11 here. So it's 5, 6, 7. So this would be 10. 2 rows would be 10 because there's 5 in each row, and then I would have number 11. Okay, so I built 11, and then they would have to find their matching number 11 book here. Now, with younger kiddos, you could give them less options, so they're not searching through their entire books. You could, whatever number they pulled, you could go ahead and just give them 3 books and make sure one of them is the number that they need to make it, a little less overwhelming for them. But yeah, so this is building it to numbers all the way through 20. Okay, for this next activity center, you need some sort of Play-Doh. So some sort of dough, and then it comes with these cards like this, and then it comes with picture cards. So what this is segmenting and blending words. It's short vowels and long vowel words. So this one is a short vowel word, but here you see a long vowel word. So what the kids are going to do is they're going to take one card, whether you want them to be doing short vowels or long vowels, it's up to you. And then on the card, it has these are little peppermints. Some of them are green, and then on some of the cards they're red. And the peppermints show the sound. So they are going to segment each sound. So as they segment, they're going to take Play-Doh and they're going to roll it into a ball. And they're going to put it on each one of the peppermints. So here I'm putting mine on the peppermints. Okay, so now I'm going to segment my sound. So as I say each sound, I'm going to press it down. So P, E, N. And then the arrow, they run their finger along the arrow to sound it, put the sounds together, excuse me. So they're going to go P, E, N, pen. And then I always have the children say the whole word. So then they will say pen. They're going to say it like they speak it. So those are the 3 steps. And then they're going to try to find the picture card that matches the word. So they just read the word pen. So they're going to look through their picture cards. And you could just give them a couple of choices. And once they find their picture card, they're going to put it on their ornament. Or in this case, in this picture, it would be a tree. And I think there's, there's bells in here like this. And there's also gifts like this. So that is what they would do. And then they would do the same thing for the long vowel words. And so here I'll show you an example of a long vowel word. This one is coat. Now obviously we know that when there's a long vowel, 2 vowels, the first one says its name and the second one is silent. So there's only one sound for OA. So there's only one peppermint here. So what they're going to do is they're still going to put their little, Play-Doh balls on there. And then they're still going to segment. So they're going to go K, O, T, coat. And then they're going to look through their card. Oh, then they're going to say the whole word, coat. Then they're going to look through their cards and they're going to find the picture of the coat. And they're going to put it on their mat like that. So, all right, let me show you the next activity center. Okay, this next one is just short vowel word puzzles. And they're going to make gifts. So what the kids are going to do is they're going to look at the bottom of a gift. They're going to read the word on the top of the gift, and they're just going to match it up. So this one is bell. This one is lid. And this one is bag. So obviously there are just a whole ton of different short vowel words that the kiddos are going to read and match up to make their gifts. Okay, the next activity center is telling time to the hour and to the half hour. All you need for this activity center is you need some sort of string. I used yarn, and then you're just going to attach it to each of the cards. You're going to attach a piece of yarn, and it's just kind of like they're going to decorate for Christmas. And so they also need some of these clips. And what it comes with 3 different sets of telling time. So there's going to be a clock that looks like this, a clock that looks like this, and then a digital time. And what they have to do is they have to match it up. Now, I've already pulled out all the 3 that go on this one. So this one says 12:30. And so these are the 2 clocks that say 12:30, and then this says 12:30. So what they're going to do is they're going to take their clips once they find the correct clocks. So this says 12:30 and this says 12:30, and they're going to just decorate. They're going to hang up their ornaments along this string here to match it up with their clips to decorate for Christmas. And so that one is finished. Okay, and then they would do the same thing. Here I'll show you how mine look. I have them all, you know, the strings are all ready to go. And then in the bag here, I have all of the different clocks and different times that are on the different ornaments. So as you can see there, there's going to be 3 that match each card. Okay, so what I would do is I would just give them 2 at a time, give them all of the 6 clocks that would go with these 2, and then have them put them on the right ones with their clips. And once they've done 2 of them, you could have them unclip it, and then they could do two more. Okay, this next one, they are going to build long and short vowel gingerbread houses. So they're basically going to discriminate between long or short vowels. So here I have some of the pieces, and what they are going to do is they're just going to take a piece, they're going to read the word that's on the piece. This says had. Had is a short vowel, so that one is going to go on this gingerbread house. This says sat. It's a short vowel, so it's going to go on this gingerbread house. And basically, they're just going to keep on reading until they have decorated their houses in such a way where they feel like they are, they look good. So, as you can see here, this one will go here. It's a long vowel. So they're just going to read the words, and I would have them read them out loud to you so that you know that they're reading them properly and they're, you know, matching them up. And then these, they even have just cute little candies that they can put on the houses just to make them, you know, really fun and cute. They can decorate it however they want as long as they get the pictures onto the right, I'm going to put this one here, onto the right house. So I'm just kind of showing you how you would maybe decorate it. Actually, I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to put this down. Oop, this one goes on this house. So you get the idea. They're just going to keep on decorating until they have their houses, their gingerbread houses, complete. All right. Okay, I'm going to show you the next activity center. Okay, this next activity center is going to be practicing money. Coins up through the quarter you could use for this activity center. And what they're going to do is they're going to be counting out Christmas toys. So I have cards here that have different amounts on them. Now, obviously it's going to be kind of funny because you wouldn't really pay 90 cents for a whole pair of skates. I wish it only cost 90 cents. But I put all the amounts are amounts that the kids can count out with their change. So all you need for this activity center, you're going to be given the mat like this. You're going to be given the toys. And then the kids just need some actual coins. So here I have some coins in here. Oh, there's a couple fake coins in here, but I have mostly real coins in here. And what they're going to do is they're just going to you're going to flip the cards over on the toy bag. And then the kids are going to flip over a card, and it would cost 80 cents for this bat. So they're going to look in their coins and they're going to count out 80 cents. So here I have a quarter and another quarter, and they're going to put the amount on their mat. So let's see what I got. 50, 60. You get the idea. If you're working with a child that, here actually, 75, 80. Okay, so if you're working with a child that does not know how to count with quarters yet, then you can still have them use 8 dimes, or you know, counting by tens. You could have them use their nickels, counting by fives, or you can mix and match. So if they only know how to count by 10 so far, then you could do you could take all the ones that end in 0 and use those. If they know how to count by fives, then you could do all of the ones that end in 0 and 5. And then there's also a few of them that end in odd numbers, like this one. They could do pennies with that one. So you can differentiate it for kids who still are struggling with their counting and make it easier or make it harder. So however you want to do it, just depends on what kind of coins you give them to use. So that is what this one is. So then after they, you know, counted out the money, then they could flip over another card and do another one. This next activity center is working with beginning sounds, and these are just Christmas vocabulary words. I did 2 different sets. I did words that are more like Santa type words, and then I did Bible words for the Bible story. So you could separate them and just do one or the other, or if you're like me and our family, we celebrate obviously the birth of Jesus, but we also celebrate giving gifts and the Christmas tree and all that fun stuff too. So we would probably keep ours mixed together, but you can go ahead and definitely separate them and then do them separate. So if you just wanted to do the Nativity story, the Bible story, you could do that. So what they're going to do is they're going to take one and you're going to look at the word, and this is a word from the story, camel, and then they have to find the missing letter. All you need is your magnetic letters. I have these ones right here that I got off of Amazon, but any kind of magnetic letter will do. And even if you didn't have your magnetic letters, you could always, the kids could write it with a dry erase marker. But what I am going to have them do is use their magnetic letter, and they just have to place the missing letter in the spot. So k, 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 do the sound, and then they could find the letter that's missing. These are great to use when you're using magnetic letters. It's great to use these on a cookie sheet because it will stick right on the cookie sheet really well. So anyway, so then star obviously would be an S. And they would fill it in, and they could just keep on going until they have filled them all in. If you have capital letters for like Jesus, you would want to make sure, if the kid put this here, you'd want to make sure to remind them that they need a capital. And Gabriel would also need a capital for the angel. And then, so you could talk about capitals and lowercase as well if you wanted to get into that with your kiddos. So I have those ones here, and then the other ones look like this. We have bells, holly, cane, gift, tree, lantern, wreath, reindeer, and Santa. All right, one more activity center to go. Okay, last but not least, this is Christmas cookie count, and this is working on counting numbers through 20. So this would be a great one for preschool or kindergartners. And you could even make this into an addition center for older kiddos if you wanted to, but I'm going to show you the way it's supposed to be used. It comes with a mat like this, and then it comes with 2 sets of cards, the cookie cards and the number cards. So first thing the kids are going to do is they're going to take a cookie card, they're going to pick a cookie card, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick this one because this one has a big number on it. All right, they're going to go ahead and count the amount of cookies. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so there are 15 cookies on that card. The second part is to find the number 15. So they're going to look through here, and they're going to find the number 15. Of course, it's never on top. There it is, and they're going to place it on the mat. Once they have made a match, they can go on do another one. So I can take those off, and then I can do another one. Now, if you're working with a really young kid that's just working on numbers through 10, you can take out only just the numbers through 10 and have them do that. So this one, 3, 4, 5, 6, has 7. You get the idea. Then they would find the number 7, and you could just give them 2 choices. If they're, a young kiddo, you could give them 5 choices. If they're older, differentiate it for your child to make it, or for your student to make it so it fits their needs. That is why I've given you a couple different options for this one. So, like, for example, with my 3-year-old, I will probably only use he knows teen numbers now, actually, to 20. So he could do it, but if you were working with, a typical preschooler, you may only want to use numbers up through 10, and then when you're working with the older kiddos, you could use them all the way up through 20. So, okay, guys, that is it, I think. I'm going to leave a link below where you can find all these activity centers. I really appreciate you watching, and also, these activity centers, you can either purchase them, just the Christmas centers, or you can purchase the bundle and save. If you purchase the seasonal bundle, you'll get my fall. I've completed my fall, Thanksgiving, and now my Christmas activity centers, and then coming are the rest of the holidays and seasons. So you can check that out and save by buying it as a bundle of all the different seasons, or you can just buy the Christmas ones, or you can check out my website for my freebies, whatever you want. And thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.